Look how far we've come, all the things we've done. Did it all with love, beauty from the bottom up. All I want is you, you're my favorite view. But there's nothing more, girl, you make my heart beat.
And we are back.
We're back. I like that little. You did the little side thing with your mouth. Now I get why you find it so hot when I do it. Wow.
I didn't even realize I did it. I think because I was trying to look to the side of this, my mouth just curled.
Right.
Because I was trying, I don't know.
I get it.
It's like when you play video games and you go like this because you're trying to lean. My mouth just did, I don't know. It like went around the corner.
That was fantastic to witness. All right. So I guess I'm the one starting it today.
Yeah. I'm going to try.
To try to what?
Not talk as much this episode because I just edited episode 12 and holy shit did I talk a lot. I realized that the more worked up I get, the harder it is for me to not say something.
Right. So it is a point. We are making it a point to make videos solely about responding to people in the comments.
Yeah.
That way you guys can feel heard. We do read your comments. We're kind of bad at acknowledging because we have so much going on.
Right.
But we do want you guys to feel like we are engaged with you.
Right. To be fair, to be honest and clear, some of the older videos that get new comments, I am guilty as shit about missing.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to do 900 things at once that I can't go back to every single video. But when the new ones are released, we definitely pay attention to that. And when we do the premiere, which will be episode 12, every single time we do a podcast premiere, it's on YouTube at Monday at 9 a.m. I am in those premieres.
Yeah.
So if you have comments and I've missed them, you can leave them or talk to me there. I will be in the premiere.
Yep. I will not because Mondays I clean.
Which leads right into what you were about to talk about.
So
Segue. Now we need advertisers. If we had like a cleaning product, that would have been the perfect segue right into a sponsorship for like a cleaning product.
I want to create my own cleaning products.
Yeah, and then advertise on the podcast. We can
sponsor ourselves. There's so many revenues I want to take this to. I have a lot of plans, but it's step by step.
One step at a time, babe.
That's why
I love the ambition.
I really haven't brought up any of my ideas yet because we're still so new in everything. Mm-hmm. I am jumping like 50 steps ahead, and I know I'm going to bring you to you and be like, yeah, that's a great idea. We're not there yet, though. Yeah. So we received a comment and said, I am really sorry about the wording on this. I'm not trying to be rude. Chris, what are your household jobs you have to do? Other than the cooking, I am trying to be better, and I know I should be doing more around the home, so I'm going to start. So I am going to respond to this. I do just want to say, you asked, what household jobs do you have to do? I don't have to do anything. We could hire a maid. I could just let the house go and we can live in filth. I don't have to do it. I choose to do it. Great. Cleaning, I enjoy cleaning. I love tedious tasks. If I can pop my headphones in, smoke a little bit, and clean for 3 hours, like that's a good day for me. So besides the cooking, cleaning, laundry, when I clean, I have segments of the house that I do. So when I'm doing our bedroom, I do the full bathroom. I'm like scrubbing the tiles in the shower. When I see photos of people taking selfies and they want to look super hot and then their toilet is disgusting, that is the only thing I'm focused on in the photo.
Yeah, I'm judging people hard for that one. You take a picture in the mirror and all I can see is your toothpaste. I'm like, one, learning how to brush your teeth because you obviously are, however you are old and don't know how to use your mouth.
Yeah.
And two, clean your fucking mirror.
Right.
Yeah. I judge hard.
So I deep clean once a week all the areas of the house, but I make it a point. Like if the toilet looks gross, not even like filthy disgusting, if there's like a slight ring, I'm cleaning the toilet. I clean the toilet. I scrub behind the toilet. So little hairs get caught up on that little whatever in the back. I clean there. I scrub the sinks. I scrub the faucets on the sink and the bathtub. In the shower, I bought that foaming...
Scrubbing bubbles.
I wanted to say bazooka bubble gum so bad. But that's not it. But the scrubbing bubbles, I spray the whole floor. I let that sit. I clean the sinks. Oh, I could do a whole video on this.
Yeah, you don't have to get that in detail. I think she's looking for ways that she can treat her man better.
Well, she said jobs around the house.
Right.
So my household jobs.
Right. Okay.
So cleaning. Besides the cooking, that's my household job is
Right.
maintaining the house.
I think there was more to that comment though. Now
That's
I have
it.
to look.
I am trying to be better, and I know I should be doing more around the home, so I'm going to start.
Yep. You're
So
right.
I deep clean the bathrooms. Like I get behind the toilets. I scrub the corners of the shower. We have this little wooden thing where we keep our soaps and whatnot. Like I will scrub that whole thing down. When it comes to the kitchen, I scrub the sink. I want to get on my hands and knees and like scrubbing the grout and shit, but I just don't have time for that with the podcast and everything. But that is to the extent I am willing to go to make sure my house is clean. You just have to look. If it's dirty, clean it.
Right.
You know, I don't think I have ADHD or ADD. I'm autistic, so there's a broad amount of things that are wrong with me. And I will start in the kitchen, like I'll do the dishes and I'll look off to the side. I'm like, oh my God, his pills are disorganized and I can't put dishes down. So now I have to clean that area. So I stop cleaning the dishes and I clean that area. And I'm moving pills and I recognize the cabinet where we keep the pills are a mess. So I clean the cabinet before I put your pills away so I can put the dishes where the pills are. You have to focus.
Yeah.
So pick one corner of your house. Say you have kids. Start in the kids' room. Pick up all their toys. Once the toys are picked up, you can now put their clothes away. Once the clothes are put away, you can take the rug out of the bedroom and vacuum. Vacuum the rug, mop. Whole area's done. Move on to the bathroom. Scrub the toilet. Clean behind the toilet. Clean the sink. Scrub the counter. Scrub down the bathtub. Sweep and mop. Sweeping and mopping should be the last thing you do in the area. Why are you looking at me like that?
That just I didn't think this video was going to go that route. We're having a full on, this is how I clean.
Yeah, well, she's asking. And I know asking like, well, you clean the bathroom. How do you clean the bathroom? That's how I do
With
it.
cleaning agents.
I break down
With gloves on.
I do have separate gloves for cleaning the house versus doing like dishes. It's a whole thing. I have nice pink ones. Break it down. I do quadrants of the house. There are now 5 separate quadrants because we have a podcasting room. Break things down, make a list. It can all be overwhelming. It really can. When I have a to-do list, I don't think I have to scrub the toilet, scrub the bathtub, scrub the shower floor, clean the sinks, clean the counter, sweep and mop. I look at, I have to clean the bathroom and I have to clean the bedroom. That's 2 things I have to do. There's subcategories to those 2 things, but that is 2 things on my list I have to get done today. That is a lot more easier to look at versus the 14 different things you have to clean.
Yes.
So that's going to be the extent because I can keep going.
I know you can.
I feel like that's good enough explain of like how I really break down my cleaning. And when I clean, I thoroughly clean. And I have dedicated days. It started off with 5 days because I was just a stay-at-home mom. 5 days of cleaning, breaking it down, whatever. Now we're podcasting. And that eats up 3 of my cleaning days. So I'm now down to 2 or 3 days where I can clean.
Yeah. We did start late today, though.
We did start late today.
And you did clean.
I did. I got a lot of stuff done. Set up some surprises. It's a great day today. So, but now with my days being changed, I'm cleaning 2 to 3 days versus 5 to 6 days. Restructuring it can seem overwhelming. It's not. You know what you do. You just have to change the time frame on it a little bit.
Yep.
So instead of being done with cleaning by like 9:30 or 10, I'm now done cleaning around noon. I almost said noon 30.
It would work.
I'm done cleaning between noon 30 and 1, which is a 3-hour time difference.
Yeah.
But that 3-hour time difference allows us to record longer when needed.
Yep.
Now I'm done with that.
Sometimes we do need that extra time because there's times that we'll sit down and record for an hour and be like, I don't want to use any of this. And you're like, me either. I'm like, okay, cool. Scrap it. Start over. And we do.
Right. And there's no stress because I already know what I needed to get taken care of was done.
Right.
Beginning of the week. That's it.
Yep.
If you guys want further elaborations, I can plan more, but I don't want to make this whole thing about cleaning and time management.
If they really wanted something like that, I could set the cameras up and edit while you just fucking spew it.
I could.
I know you could.
I
could sit there and get caught up on editing.
I could plan the whole thing out. I literally have highlighters next to me right now. Like I could really just go in and get this going for you guys.
Look
Why
at that
am
smile
I
on
excited?
your face.
I could sell planners. See, I'm getting ahead of myself because I've thought about that. I've thought about constructing planners to sell to people so they can have their cleaning already planned out for them and they just have to do it.
The Southern Peach household planner.
Yes. Yes. Okay. We're done with that conversation.
So that email that I was talking about earlier
Yes.
is not titled.
No.
Wait. Yes, it is. I think I am being financially abused.
Ooh. That's a very bold statement.
It fucking is, which is why I was like, all right, we need to read this one. But it's 2 emails, and the first one is long. The second one is longer.
Okay.
So
Well,
let's read the first one, and if we feel like there's enough information there, we won't have to get into the second one, but there's a lot.
okay. Okay. So titled, I think I am being financially abused. Ooh. I just saw the folders that she has these put into. She is fantastic at labeling folders. Like,
she's on
wow. Hi there. I'm not sure how this works, but I just need some advice. I've been watching your videos on TikTok and decided to send you an email. This is going to be quite long. I apologize, but I want you to see the full picture. I am a 24-year-old female and have been with my fiance, who is 25, male, for 4 years, and I've been struggling to find reasons to stay with him. I love him with all of my heart and soul, but there's a never-ending list of things pushing me away. So this is really just a last-ditch effort for her.
Sounds like it. And I'm already like, love's not enough.
Right. Like, you're already struggling to find reasons to stay with him. Like, what am I going to say that's going to make you, that's a good reason I should stay? I'm sure you've thought about it a million times. You're the author of your story. That's not the term.
I mean, it works though.
The expert of your life.
We see a very small portion of these emails. Like, we only get to see what you show us through your words. We don't know your life.
Yeah.
We don't really know the ins and outs of shit. We're reading your email and giving you opinions based off of the email you sent us.
So if you're already struggling to find reasons, I bet I'm going to struggle to find reasons to tell you to stay. Like, I just want to put that out there. I'm not shitting on this person.
No.
Just know, if you're struggling to find reasons and you're going to send me a very long email of all of the reasons that you're struggling with, I too will probably have a hard time struggling trying to find reasons for you to stay with this person. I love him with all of my heart and soul, but there's a never-ending list of things pushing me away. We have had the same arguments over and over again, and it never changes. We both work, and we moved into our own rental home 3 years ago, and we split everything down the middle. I told him I'd only move in together as long as he held up his end, and I would not tolerate paying late fees on bills. That's a good thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my goodness, that energy drink is making me burpy. I apologize. That is a very reasonable expectation to have.
Yeah, I agree.
I will not tolerate late bills. If you are late on a bill, you are paying the late fee. And just know, if it happens again, like, that's going to be a big issue. Not saying cutting off. I was going to say cut off, but
Yeah.
that's not really the correct reaction to that. I know that might sound controlling. Well, I hope everything we just said makes you feel like that's not controlling, because I feel like that's a very logical standard to have.
Yeah, it's not hard to make somebody like carry their weight.
Right. And not tolerating subpar behavior, I don't think is controlling.
Yeah, not at all. This is exactly what the email or the TikTok I posted from from episode 12.
Yeah.
No. From the long-term relationship.
It
went live today. Today's Friday the 3rd. So it was a clip from that video that went live this morning on YouTube. And we clipped it talking about our boundaries. And everyone in the comments is like, that's controlling. It's not fucking controlling to set a boundary. If you have a discussion with someone and go, I'm not okay with this, and they go, cool, I won't do that, and then they start doing that, they are showing you that they are not okay with your boundaries, and it's not controlling to leave them.
Right. No, it's not. They view it as controlling because it prevents them from getting the attention that they want.
Because they can no longer step on you.
Right.
Right.
The reason I said attention is because that was strictly talking about how a hard boundary for you is you don't want to be with somebody who constantly feels the need to go out to bars until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and seek attention.
Right.
Which is a very valid boundary, in my opinion, when you want to be in a monogamous relationship with somebody.
Right.
And for all the people saying, well, that's controlling, because they want that attention.
Right.
They don't want...
I made a follow-up video.
Yeah.
And was like, so if I'm on a date with a woman and we are talking about potentially becoming intimate with each other and actually becoming a thing, am I controlling by saying I expect you to be monogamous and not see other men in our monogamous relationship? I know I did the same thing.
Just in case.
Is that controlling?
Yeah.
Because I don't want my woman to see other men if I'm committing to you in a relationship. Because if that's controlling, then fuck it, I'm controlling. I want monogamy. And if you can't give me that, I'm going to find a woman who can.
Right. And setting that boundary is not telling somebody that they're wrong in their thought process if they disagree.
Right.
If you want to be with somebody who allows you to have multiple partners, you can find somebody. Right. I'm not saying that you're wrong for wanting that. I'm just saying that that's a wrong thought process for my life.
Right. Yeah, it's wrong for me. That's it.
And that's it. That doesn't mean that it's negative. It doesn't mean I have any ill will towards you. It just means that we're not going to mesh in a relationship.
Yeah, and if you have problems with that and want to call me names, I'll be those names.
Yeah, just know that I'm living my happy life.
Right. My boundaries ain't going to change because you feel the way you feel about something.
Crazy. I saw how he was living in his apartment on his own. Oh, but I saw how he was living in his apartment on his own. So that's why she said, I will not tolerate late fees.
Right.
Assuming based on that sentence, he had a lot of late fees living
Right.
on his own. He never paid bills on time and was always paying so much for late fees. I should really just keep reading.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's not how I like to live. I never had a late payment on anything. Credit cards, rent, car note bills. I always pay on times, and sometimes I pay extra when I can on things. That is smart as fuck.
Yeah, it is. That's a symbol of success right there.
That is. The past few years, he has not held up his end of the deal. Currently, our water will be turned off in 4 days, and we're a month behind on electricity.
Because he's not holding up his end.
Right. And it's been happening for years at this point.
So, okay, go ahead. Because there's things that you can do about that, but I don't want to tie up nonsense.
Everything else is caught up, but only because I took responsibility for it. I put the phone bill and furniture payments under my credit cards to avoid those late fees. When it comes to finances, I make more money than him. We've even argued about it because I've been putting pressure on him to save money for an emergency fund and a house fund because a huge goal of mine is to purchase this house. He says I nag too much and I have a big head because I make more money than him.
Wow. Tell me you got a little dick without telling me you got a little dick,
yeah,
bro.
I wouldn't say insecure much.
Yeah, that's little dick energy hard.
You know, it really is.
Wow.
I can understand how he feels emasculated, but even in that,
I don't. If you made more money than me, I
you
would
hype
you
me
the
up.
fuck up, dude.
Right.
And it would make me want to work harder to match what you're doing. And
Right.
if you got a raise or you got another thing or you open another business, I'd look at you and be like, damn.
That's my babe.
I'd be like, all right, babe, I want to do this now. How do we make this work? Because you're obviously doing it.
Right.
Teach me some shit. Let's fucking level. Mm-hmm. Not, oh, you got an ego.
Right. So my point in saying that I can see that, I can see how that hurt his feelings.
Yeah, because he's a bitch.
He is. That does not make, like, even though you're hurt, that can be a conversation like, hey, babe, I feel like I'm slacking. If you're hurt because you feel like you're slacking because your partner is succeeding faster than you, that can be a conversation. And in that conversation, you could get pointers from your partner, like, I do X, Y, and Z at work, and that's how I was able to get to where I'm at. And then you can implement it in your own life, and then all of a sudden you don't feel so insecure because somebody's doing better than you. Right? Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense. I don't have anything nice to say about this.
Yeah.
I don't have anything in me for men who have a problem with their women being successful.
Right.
I want to succeed. I have that deep-seated desire to just constantly grow. Mm-hmm. And if you started leveling up faster than I am, you're doing something that I can learn from.
Yeah.
Show me, oh great one. I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
What? Why would that? I just don't understand how you can even be mad about that. You literally have someone that you live with who is successful and can teach you how to be successful.
The only way I can think to phrase how this makes me feel about him not wanting to have the same goal as her, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because she has goals. She wants to get her own house. She wants to have an emergency fund. Those are dope goals. I mean, you should have an emergency fund anyway. But still, if you don't have one and you have a goal to have one, that's dope. When you have somebody who is dragging you down and making sure you don't achieve those goals, in 10 years, you're going to look back and be like, I could have my own house.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I could have had my own house. if this man just got on board with me. That's going to be a really shitty feeling. I look at my past and I see certain points where I had a decision to make. And I was like, damn, if I just made a different choice,
Right.
I knew my choices.
That hindsight, though.
If I made that different choice, I would have been where I am now 6 years earlier.
Yep.
It's a really shitty feeling. And I'm not saying you have to leave this man. I'm just saying think about that. As people who look at their past and say, I could have just made that other choice,
Yeah.
even though it was the harder choice or the one that hurt my feelings or hurt somebody else's feelings, I would have been where I am now 10 years ago.
Yep.
That sucks. I can't imagine how frustrating that is. I mean, I can because I was in a relationship with somebody who didn't have goals. It is very frustrating and it feels like you're trapped because you want to be with this person. You see what they're capable of. When they apply themselves and they show that determination and they're intrigued and they just want to get after it, you know what it's like for them to be motivated. So you're just hoping that motivation bleeds into responsible things.
Right.
Like owning a house, owning your own car. Sometimes that hope isn't enough for them to want to be able to do it, though.
Right. Well, the real question is if you saw that he was unable to pay his bills when he was living on his own, what makes you think he's going to do it with you?
Right.
He already showed you that.
Yeah.
If he's doing it on his own and can't do it, he's not capable of being a mature adult and handling his shit the way he's supposed to handle it. What makes you think he's going to change because he moved in? Timber. You know, when I was a kid, I thought that just meant things fell over, not that it's actually timber falling over.
I just had that realization right now.
And there's wood on my case, so when I said timber, it actually worked.
Oh my God. I love it when things work out like that. I was also thinking about that. If he showed that he couldn't do it on his own, it's not going to change when he moves in with you because
Right.
life change means I'm going to be better. If you are looking to have a relationship where it's 50-50 or your man takes over all the bills, that would have to be something they already actively do.
Right. And show you that they're capable of doing it.
Right. So getting into a relationship with this person, whether you knew it at the time or not, you were taking on the role of being the sole person handling the financials because he already showed he doesn't know how to.
Yep.
That would have been a conversation of, you want to move in with me? You need to show me that you can pay your bills on time for the next 6 months.
Right. Because all you're showing me is that you're looking for somebody to help you.
You're looking for a
financially.
mommy.
Right.
That's a mommy to me.
If he already had a 1-bedroom and you guys got a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, his rent only went up a little bit because you guys got a bigger place for the two of you, but now he's only paying half, so he's still paying less. So if he's paying less with you than what he was paying before on his own and can't keep up still, like you're not going to be able to buy a house with him.
Right.
You guys need to date the way you're supposed to.
You should date with somebody who has similar goals as you. Ooh, he's grabbing the notebook,
I am.
guys.
I fucking am because I made a note about a word. Because I knew that I would forget the whole thing. And I would like to just pause while I find it because this is, hypergamy is?
Yes.
Okay.
That's when women date same stature or above.
Right. The action of marrying or dating up.
Okay.
Hypogamy is the act of dating down. There are a lot of people who have a lot of issues with hypergamy because they believe that women shouldn't be trying to date up. They should be dating at their level.
Right.
I disagree with that. I think you should always be trying to date up.
Oh,
It doesn't matter which way you fall. You should be looking for somebody in your life that's going to level you.
It doesn't even have to be financial.
No, right. You need to find somebody that's going to make your life better. And in return, you should want to make their life better. Not mooch, but you need to find somebody that's doing better than you are and know that you have a fucking work ethic to try to make their life better. And even if that means you just going in and playing the traditional wife and not doing anything other than making their home life easier, you are making their life easier. You're adding value to their life.
Yeah.
I don't think that women should date down. I don't think that men should date down. I think you need to be dating equal. Like you should be dating in your tax bracket. I don't care how shitty that sounds.
I agree with that though. If you are in a higher tax bracket, I'm not going to say all the time. Majority of the time, from what I have witnessed and what I've seen on the internet, when people date down out of their tax bracket, they get taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
That's not worth the risk for me.
Right.
I did that. I dated down out of my tax bracket and I was paying for everything. All of the rent was on my shoulders. Majority of the bills were on my shoulders. Everything being paid on time was on my shoulders.
Yep.
No. And then from there, the communication wasn't there. There were constant communication breakdowns. Ooh, I never tied those two together. If someone is a mess financially, they're probably going to be a mess communication-wise as well. I mean, a lot of things, but
right.
If they're a mess in one aspect of their life, look at their other aspects.
Yeah.
I never...
Some
smart.
people want personal excellence and some don't. Some
Yeah.
people are okay with just scooting by. I'm not willing to even accept that from my friends.
Yeah.
The people that are in my life either want to do better and thrive, or they're not going to stay here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have anybody slow me the fuck down.
Right.
That's all there is to that.
Okay, so I am not even going to entertain reading the rest of that because I just read the first few sentences of the second email. And the second email is where it's at.
Okay.
So skipping
Love
everything.
that. Save some time. Look at that time management. That's why you get the house clean so easily.
It really is. Here is a follow-up on my previous email. I'm not sure if you've read it for your podcast or not yet.
Well, we started to.
Right, but then I something caught my eye and I'm like, ooh, girl, thank you for this update. Things right now are hard with my fiance. I've listened to your podcasts and I hear a lot of similar stories about what I'm going through. I've realized that my true feelings are I truly want to leave him.
Ooh.
I have made my decision and I'm going with it.
Gangster.
We went on a trip to Tennessee. Love Tennessee.
Me too.
That I mentioned before. Didn't read it, but I'm glad you're bringing it up now.
That was so nonchalant, like, whatever.
And it went better and worse than I could have imagined.
Oh, no.
Oh. When it comes to the money part, I went smoothly. It went smoothly, but it could have been better. Well, I'm like that. It wasn't disastrous.
Right.
That's good.
That's before you continue. That says a lot. If you go on a vacation and your vacation is not good, like we have a thing.
We have a thing.
We have a thing. And I'm not going to explain the thing because I don't want people to understand what I mean when I say that phrase to you.
Okay.
But when you are on vacation with somebody and you are in an environment that you've never been in before, in a rental car, you've never been to these places, and you are experiencing life with that person, there is a feeling that is your comfort, your safe space, whatever you want to call it,
Your home.
that you do not get to experience any other time in your life other than when you're in these strange locations. So if you're on vacation and you are experiencing those moments and your vacation is a shit show, that's a problem.
That is definitely a problem.
Whew. I love that feeling. So like the
Yeah.
idea of going on vacation and then not being there, like, ugh.
We would have to have
sucks.
some really serious conversations if we went on vacation, we were having a bad time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the whole vacation's on hold. Like we're going to be crying in the hotel room for
Yeah.
8 hours trying to figure this shit out.
Rough.
All right. The day we were leaving to travel to Tennessee, we left around 2 a.m. Smart.
Yep, it sounds like us.
And we stopped to get gas, and he realized that he left his wallet behind.
Ooh.
Not that he left his wallet at home, but he actually left it at work, meaning he would not have been able to get it before we left. He did not have his driver's license, bank cards, or the cash that was in it. I would be a little salty.
No,
about
I'd be pissed.
like,
I'd be mad at myself if that happened, but I have a checklist before I go
Right.
anywhere because I tend to go on vacation without t-shirts. 3 times in a
ready
row.
to say you have a checklist, but the one thing that's never on it is your t-shirts.
Right, because that's not on the checklist. The checklist is, do I have the suitcase? 3 times I've gone on vacations without t-shirts in a row.
The first time it happened, I felt so bad. We were evacuating for the hurricane. It was 11 o'clock at night, the night before the hurricane was supposed to hit. We looked at each other. We were like, we're leaving. So not only did we have to pack for us, we had to pack for the kids.
Right.
The kids are in bed asleep. It was a whole thing. We're in the car like 3 hours away from the house, and you look at me and go, I don't think I packed any t-shirts. And I was like, oh, I felt so bad because we're panicking.
Yeah.
We're driving in like 80-mile-an-hour winds. The kids are kind of in and out of consciousness. We're trying to explain what's going on. It's raining. We have to hurry up and get to the other coast. We're panicking about the house. And I was like, this man doesn't have t-shirts. Like, this is going to ruin his whole time on top of everything.
It really didn't, though. It's just t-shirts.
Right. But in that moment, like, I was just losing my mind about it. The second time it happened, oh God, I just nodded. This is such a good
So
when it happened,
let's
it was
give
bad.
time frame. We went to the other coast. We went from Sarasota County to Melbourne
Right.
for 2 days.
Yes.
Without shirts. Came
Yeah.
back. Stayed 8 hours in our home, making sure that everything in our businesses were still standing, not flooded, and if we needed to be here.
Yeah.
And then we left again that night at like midnight, and I left all of my fucking shirts. But where we went had a 511 tactical store, so I got to buy a whole bunch of t-shirts while on vacation. Which
That
was a
is
huge
true.
win. So
What was funny about that thing, though, is we drove 12 hours away from the house. We get to the hotel, and you're like, I didn't pack any fucking shirts. And I was like, oh my God. And at the point, I was laughing. I lost
Yeah.
my mind. What was the third instance? I don't remember.
it was one of the short trips that we went to take pictures. I
Oh,
brought
yeah.
socks and underwear and pants
Not a
and
shirt.
not a shirt. And I was like, it doesn't matter. We're only going to be driving home tomorrow. I can wear a dirty shirt for it. Doesn't matter. I was so like frustrated in myself in that because I normally pride myself on my packing, so I don't have to worry about
That's
that.
all I've heard from you, too. Was like, I'm always on my packing. Like, my
Yeah.
packing is boss as
It's
shit. Like,
just-
I'm on
you're
it.
just so distracting.
Because all you can think about is taking your shirt off when I'm around.
Well, I mean,
So you just eliminate the need for it.
right.
I like that you accommodate me like that.
It's actually more about you taking my shirt off.
I do that.
I know you
do
do.
that.
Yeah. Continue, ma'am.
Oh God. Luckily, he did have spare cash that he keeps at the house. So is this spare cash the emergency fund that you wanted, or is this just 7-Eleven change that he tosses?
Right. Well, I mean, if he's able to replenish it, it doesn't really matter.
He was able to use Apple Pay to buy the things at stores that accepted it.
Which is a lot.
That is, yeah.
So for those of you who actually use cash, because we use cash a lot, anytime I spend a $20 bill on anything, all of the change goes into the console.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's tens and fives, ones, quarters, it all goes in the console. Yesterday we went to do cardio, and on the way back I was like, hey, you want to hit this place real quick and grab something to eat on the way home? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, I don't have my money clip, because I actually carry a money clip. I was like,
Yeah.
and I have my wallet, but I really don't want to use my debit card. And I opened the console and I was like, hey, can you grab some money out of there? I was like, how much is there? And you're like, $50. And I was like, wow.
It was all ones.
I know.
There were like 2 5s. And I started counting. I was like, okay, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I hit 30.
Yeah.
And I kind of fanned out the ones. I'm like, you have roughly $50 to $60. I got to 30. We won't need
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
But that's smart. Since I noticed you doing that, I started doing that.
Always.
And the other day, I had to stop somewhere and pick up something for the kids. And I was like, crap. I didn't have my wallet. I'm really bad about keeping my wallet on me. I try to keep it in my purse, but there are times where I have to like buy gloves or something.
Right.
I need the shop card. And I was like, I have change in my console. I opened that bitch up. I had like 2 10s, 6 5s, and 9 1s. And I was like, hell yeah.
Winning.
And I needed like $45.
Right. And you had it.
I had it.
Yeah.
Just because I saw you throwing change, and I was like, that's smart. He's a smart guy. I'm going to do that.
See, this is how you level up from your partner.
It is. And that's small things. That's such a minute thing,
Yeah.
right? I could have thought of that.
Right.
But I saw you doing it, and I was like, he's successful in life. I'm going to do that.
When do you ever really go, damn, I really need that $1 bill?
Never.
Right.
But when you have an amalgamation of the $1 bills,
That adds up.
I don't think amalgamation was the correct
Either
term.
way.
The only time he had to use my credit card was paying for the guy's day. Guy's day. My fingers look really... Oh my God, my fingers aren't as fat as I...
Focus, woman.
I'm trying. I'm having a really good day. Like, I'm in a really good mood. And I'm not going to suppress it.
I'm so excited.
And I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and he just told me I need to refocus. So we're doing that.
Oh, man.
The only time he had to use my credit card was paying for the guy's day. But he did transfer the money back to me. That's good.
Yeah.
So I had no problem with it. The 5 guys had their guy day, and the 2 girls and I stayed at the Airbnb with the 5 kids. Okay, so this wasn't like a U2 vacation. This is a group of people going on vacation. I don't have children, so it was a little awkward for me, but I did my best to help keep things clean and the kids fed throughout the day. I actually enjoyed it to an extent because it reminded me of how much I don't want children of my own. Girl, good for you.
Yeah. Being around
Like,
kids is the best form of birth control.
It is. You know, being a mom of 2 children, there are times I look back and I'm like, I don't think this was the right thing for me. I don't have a choice now. I am a great mom. I'm very patient with the kids. I'm becoming more patient with the kids. They're becoming fantastic little beings. I love them to death. Just knowing that I'm committed to this for the next 14 years is kind of a rough thing.
Yeah.
The girls kept joking, saying how this whole trip was just birth control for me.
There you go.
And I laughed along because they weren't wrong. But the girls and I enjoyed our time together and had some really wholesome conversation. I haven't had any real girl time since I've been with my fiance because I know he gets jealous when I try to see friends.
That's a problem.
That's a massive red flag. He thinks that I'd rather be with my friends than with him. This man has a whole slew of insecurity problems.
Yeah. LDE. Little dick energy.
I heard LED and I was like, no, he's not that bright. Stop.
They're dimmable.
They really are. That little dimming switch. You just got to crank his back up. Are we assholes?
A little bit.
A little bit. If he, I'm gonna iterate this. I'm not gonna reiterate. I almost said reiterate. I'm gonna iterate this. You cannot be the single human being in somebody's life and fulfill all of their needs.
No.
I am not a man. I cannot test your masculinity. I can't push you to be more masculine.
No. Nope.
You need to be around other men for that. You need that competitiveness and that challenge. That's why I was like, hey, you should start working out with Sean again.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad that you were able to recognize that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's comforting to know that I don't have to have those kind of conversations because unless you understand it, having that conversation, I have to try to make you understand my point.
Right.
And it's not easy for a lot of people, especially when you're not able to put yourself in somebody's shoes. Mm-hmm. And because you're a woman, I'm a man, you can't do that. You don't understand that need to test each other.
Right.
That really is a thing for most men.
Yeah. And you know, even though I'm feminine with you, I am in my feminine.
Right.
I still have that. I don't even know. When I go out with other women, it's a thing I need. Being around other feminine women who can understand the struggles of being a woman. And I'm not saying sexism and workplace bullshit. I'm talking about day-to-day female problems. Like, I'm a very emotional person.
Right.
I can talk to you about my emotions and you can validate my emotions, but you can't sympathize the way that another woman can. Mm-hmm. I need that.
Right.
I need another wife. Communicating with other wives is very, I don't want to say therapeutic.
Can you clarify that, please?
What do you mean?
You do not need another wife. Somebody's going to misinterpret that and be like, I volunteer.
No, communicating with another wife.
I get that.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Like being around another woman who is the wife to somebody else. I can't believe I had to clarify that.
I'm telling you to clarify it because I don't want somebody to be like, I volunteer as tribute in the comments.
No, there is no tribute. It's a fight to the death, and I promise you won't win. This is the Thunderdome.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
But like being around other women who are wives to other people.
Right.
There are things that we can talk about that a single person's not going to understand, or a man is going to understand. You know, you working out with Sean, I've been thinking really hard on how to help your mental health because to a certain extent, I can only do so much.
Right.
And like, I'm proud of this, so I'm going to gloat a little bit. About a week ago, I was like, he needs man energy.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not a man. I can't match that macho bullshit. I am here to be your peace and your sanctuary. I'm not here to challenge you. You need other men in your life to do that. Mm-hmm. So when I brought to your attention, I was like, hey, how would you feel about working out with Sean? I didn't even say I think you should. I was just like, right. How would you feel about working out with Sean again? And you thought about it. And this morning we had another conversation of you recognizing like, I really do need that.
Right.
I am so fucking stoked about that. You have no idea.
Well, so with the workout thing, and this is just to give you guys a very clear understanding of the way it works. Mm-hmm. When you and I work out together, if you call me names and tell me to lift heavier, I'm already lifting heavier than you.
Right.
Significantly.
So it sounds like, come on.
Yeah. Like, what do you want me to show off? Like,
right.
You're not going to inspire me. But if Sean and I are training and he throws an extra plate on, I'm like, all right, fuck it. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm going to get injured before I step away from something.
Right.
And I've proven that as I've ripped my pec off my humerus. Like, Twice. So now I just don't train chest super heavy. But yeah. I need that. And like in the event that even if he doesn't lift the weight up and he sees me just kind of going through the motions, he's going to call me on it because
Right.
we've trained together for almost 20 years. And that kind of shit goes a long way. Having
Yeah.
that, and then having somebody there to test me and be like, do you want to do that again? Because you didn't even fucking try. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
like, oh, damn, okay. You know what I mean? It's just different.
And, you know, I can try to push you like that because I've done that thing. I was like, come on, bitch, get it.
Yeah.
And you do, but it's not the same.
It is not.
It's not because I'm your woman. I don't call you that.
Yeah.
When I do something like that, it's more of like a
It makes me laugh, but yeah.
right. It's not a very serious thing. It's comical. Yeah. So my whole point in bringing that up is you need people in your life outside of your partner,
Right.
and that's okay. I recognize I've thought about this a lot because we talk about our personal life on the podcast. There are situations where a husband and a wife could work out together. He could say, hey, I want to start working out with Jim. And she's going to get like, what? I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
We're doing this together. Why aren't we doing this together
That's
anymore?
why we never had that talk, because I didn't want to have that conversation.
You know, in the beginning, when I was not secure in myself working out, it wasn't I don't want you working out with them because I'm insecure. Like, we have to do this together. It was more of, I don't know my footing yet.
Right.
Now I'm comfortable. I know what the hell I'm doing out there. I know how to contract my muscles. I know when to recognize I'm not doing something properly. So it's not, I wouldn't say a necessity, but I don't need somebody there anymore.
Right. You're past your learning phase.
Right. So even if you would have come to me and said, hey, I really need to start working out with Sean. I need that compatibility, or not the compatibility, but the competition. I would have been, okay, I'm cool with that. Can I just still hang out with you guys or like work out with you guys? Because I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Right.
It would never have been well, I'm your woman. You need to choose me over him. That's not it.
Yep. I want to touch on one thing before you continue the email. When you said earlier that it's important for you to have friends and go do the female thing, you mentioned that you want to go hang out with other wives,
Yeah.
not other women who are single, because wives and single women don't have the same interests.
Right.
You're not going to be doing the same thing. If you're talking about the man that you've been with for the last 10 years and they're talking about
The
you know,
hookup they had 2 weeks ago, and now they're
right.
seing somebody new.
you don't have a connection on that level.
Yeah.
And if you've got kids and they don't, you know what I mean? There's a whole lot in that. So
Right.
I think it's important that you're finding people that have the same lifestyle you have so that you have an actual ground
Right.
that you can relate on.
You know, I do have friends that are single. So I have my group called the Boyfriends. It was something stupid I said and it just stuck. And a lot of them are single. In that group, I am one of 2 married women. I think there's like 6 of us at this point who go out, and we'll go out to Olive Garden or whatever. Majority of the time, their hangout session is going out and getting drinks and doing that because they're single, whatever. I'm not interested in that.
Right.
So when I hang out with other wives, we're going and getting brunch.
Right.
Or we're going to a bookstore and hanging out. Different circles do different things. Single women enjoy going to the bar because they can hang out, they can dance, I'm not saying purely for attention, but that isn't a reason that people go to the bar. For that reason, because women do go to the bar to get attention, men think that it's an acceptable thing to just give all women attention.
Right.
I'm not about that. That's not for me, so I don't go. I choose to not participate in that because I am a married woman, and I don't want to be in an instance where my integrity to my husband can be questioned by anybody. So it's okay. My point of that is I have single friends, but we don't go out and we don't do those activities together, which
Don't
is
do
okay.
single people shit together. Right.
Right. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, that was it. I mean,
Okay.
you actually just reiterated exactly what I was getting at. So, but
Okay.
you put it in woman. So for other women that are hearing it, it's going to be
Right, it's not a
delivered
controlling
better
thing.
than
Yeah.
when it came from man. So
This is my active choice to not go to the bar because I don't want to have a fight about how somebody maybe saw me with Tim in the parking lot. I'm not
Right.
doing that. Or I walked into the bathroom and this dude followed behind me and now people are rumoring we're fucking in the bathroom. No. I am not trying to deal with all of that bullshit. All right. Wholesome conversations. Haven't had real guy time. He thinks that I would rather be with my friends than with him. I actually have maybe 3 real friends and they all live in different states, so I don't see them often. He hurts my feelings when they visit me and we take a day to go to the beach, and he gets angry if I'm not home by the time he creates. Unacceptable. You know, if you have friends that are out of state, You know, you have a friend in California. If your friend in California came and visited and you're like, hey, I want the day to go do X, Y, and Z, I'll be like, all right, dope. Let me know how it goes.
That's not how that would play out, though.
I know. We would do
Okay.
it together.
We would, absolutely.
But just know if there was ever a circumstance where you guys have been going to the opera every time this person visits, and that's a you two thing, and I already have something going on, I'm not going to say, well, you can't go because I can't go.
Right.
This is your friend from out of state. I want you to enjoy yourself. And that home by the time he creates, are you 15?
You got a curfew.
Right.
Better be back by dinner.
Like, who the hell does it?
And by dinner, I mean dinner time to make it.
Right. I even thought, I was like, okay, so I need to be home by 5. Yeah, no, that is absolutely unacceptable. He can say, hey, babe, I have to be up by 4 a.m. tomorrow. Would you mind being home by 8:30 so I can make sure I get decent sleep?
Right.
That's acceptable. Saying you need to be home by 9 o'clock or I'm going to be upset. No, you can't control anybody.
Right.
I was thinking, it is a different conversation of saying, I would like you to be, not even that, saying that whole, I have to be up early. Would you mind being home by X time? That way I know I can function tomorrow. Because when you come home, the door creaks, fridge is loud, we have wood floors, I can hear your heels. That's a different conversation versus I expect you to be home by 9 o'clock.
Right. Because one of them is a matter of respect of your sleep and the other is just a controlling thing.
Yeah, the other one gives your partner the opportunity to show that you are a priority to them versus you controlling that human being. Phrasing is important. It really is.
Yep. It's almost like communication matters. Wild.
Someone should be on the internet talking about
They
that.
should. I bet a podcast would do really well for something like that.
You know, they could even label that podcast to be better.
That would be pretty genius.
Right? I feel like that would just encompass everything that they're trying to.
They should start on TikTok, though.
That would just be smart. Grow the platform, get a bunch of followers, and then redirect them to the more in-depth, lengthy conversations where they can actually gain sustenance versus a 30-second video.
Yeah. Instead of an hour into a podcast.
I don't know why anybody hasn't thought about that.
I don't either.
Wild. If not,
let's do this. We're an hour in.
all right. Am I talking too much?
We both are. We have
Okay.
derailed like hell on this thing.
Well, I thought that's why people watch us.
Yeah, well, they still want their emails read.
We're reading it. This is just an update. She decided to leave the guy.
Okay.
It's not like we're answering anything.
I mean, we are, though. We are having conversation.
Okay. Last time this happened, he blew up my phone, calling me, cussing me out, and embarrassed me in front of everyone.
Ooh. Know your worth.
Know your worth. Seriously.
You know, it is not an acceptable thing when somebody starts screaming and cussing to go, who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Right. Wait, did you say that's not acceptable?
No,
or it is
it is.
acceptable?
It is very
I was
acceptable.
about to say, because I will.
Yeah.
If somebody, especially like somebody I'm related to, like my sister, we have a good relationship. She doesn't speak to me like that. If she calls me and the first words out of her mouth, you dumb bitch, I can't believe, I'd be like, excuse you. Let's try that again.
Yeah.
And if you want to continue to berate me, hanging up, I'm going to text you, call me back when you are calm.
Yeah.
We don't talk to each other like that.
Yep. You don't have to tolerate those things.
You really don't. Those friends I was with barely speak to me anymore because they don't want to cause us a fight.
Wow.
So, as a friend, well, I used to be friends with somebody who was in a tumultuous relationship. It wasn't physically abusive, but they had a lot of arguing and they were not good for each other. It got to a point of, you're complaining to me about the same exact thing every time. I am giving you advice on how to fix your situation, or you can leave. To a certain point, I am not going to let your drama disturb the peace of my life anymore.
Absolutely.
You are my friend. I love you dearly, but there is nothing I can do to help your situation because you don't want to help yourself. I have been that person where I have cut friends off. I still love them to death. You know, I want to see them happy. I want to see them succeed. To a certain extent, I am not responsible for your misery. Before we went on the Tennessee trip, he made a comment to me about how he feels bad because I don't have friends that want to do trips like this with me. He doesn't realize it's because of how he reacts when I do go do something with my friends. I didn't say anything about it because I didn't want to argue. You know, he said he feels bad because you don't have any friends, and it's because of the way he acts when you go out. If he knows who you're going out with and he's blowing up their phone trying to figure out where you're at, I wouldn't want to be a part of that either.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
at that point,
that's a problem.
like if you are insulting me because you're a shitty human being and like you're dating my friend, but you want to attack me for no reason, I'm going to remove myself from that situation.
Right.
As my friend, you should be keeping your person in check. And you can get offended by that, by me saying keep your person in check. If I am best friends with you and you start dating somebody, we've known each other for 10 years, and you've been dating for someone for 3 years, and they blatantly disrespect me, and you allow your person to do that, I'm going to remove both of you from my life. Period. Mm-hmm. And that can make me a shitty friend.
What, having boundaries?
People will say that makes me a shitty person.
No, it means you have boundaries.
Right.
You have self-esteem, and you're not going to let somebody like downplay that.
I'll be that shitty person.
So will I.
I am not going to sacrifice my self-worth and the peace in my life because somebody I care about is with a piece of shit person.
Right. I'm not going to let my happiness be disrupted by anyone.
Right. And that's a completely different conversation versus somebody who is in a physically abusive relationship. We are purely talking about people who cannot see eye to eye in a relationship, and this is it. He wants to blow your phone up and figure out where you are. You have the option to stay in that relationship or you can leave.
Right.
I'm not going to enable somebody being in a shitty relationship with somebody. On the last day of the Tennessee trip, I became very sick. I was vomiting over and over again. I could not even keep water down. I ended up going to the ER in Tennessee when we were supposed to be traveling home. We were supposed to go to work the next day. The doctor said it was a severe stomach bug and gave me a note to be excused from work for 2 days. Because of this, he also took off 2 days. One, so we could travel home, an 8-hour drive, and the second day to recover. When he returned to work, they demoted him and changed his schedule, and they said that he was unreliable.
Hold up. That doesn't happen from a one-time thing.
No, it doesn't.
It does not happen from one-time thing. Also, I apologize for the throat clearing. Before we started recording, I had a major coughing fit, and I feel like it's right there, but it just won't come out. So the throat clearing thing is super gross. I'm very aware of it. I'm trying not to do it. Just acknowledging it so you guys know. That's not a one-time thing.
No, it's not.
Oh boy, is a fuck up at work.
Mm-hmm. And that makes me think that he didn't put in the request to have that time off. If he came back and they immediately demoted him, was that the kind of thing where he was like, hey, next week I'm leaving for Tennessee. You need to find somebody to cover me.
Right.
He says he thinks they want him to quit, but he won't out of spite. If they want to fire you, they'll just fire you.
Right. Well, depending on what they do, if they fire him, he could collect unemployment.
Oh.
So in some cases, they will just not schedule you. And there are ways around that. Like in that scenario, if they really didn't want him there, they could schedule him 1 day a week until he quits. And then he can't collect unemployment. That's going to affect the company because they didn't fire him.
That's wild and super shitty. Wow, that's crazy.
I could be wrong on that, but I'm almost positive that's how that works.
Yeah.
I have been wrong before.
Same. I tried to tell him maybe he needs to look for another job. He says he has, but hasn't talked to me about what's going on. We had a fight last night. He said he's too stressed with everything and he has to come home to me moping around and sitting on my phone. I know I'm on my phone way too much, but it's the only thing I have to keep my brain occupied. If I lived with this man, I'd be on my phone constantly too. If I lived with a man who constantly berated me and made sure I didn't have a social life, and I'm the blame for everything, and now I have to worry about my water being shut off in 4 days, I would not want to look at him. No. Yeah. I have been in a relationship where I looked at my person and I was absolutely repulsed. When you are at that point in a relationship where you would rather look at your phone screen and at the person you supposedly love walking in through a door after a long day of work, you know that relationship's done. I mean, there are things that you can do to bring it back from that, right, but you have to both be willing to work on it. But when you are at that point where you would rather be more preoccupied with your phone than say hi to your partner after a work day, that's a lot of damage.
Right. A
lot of damage. If I'm not on my phone, I'm up doing dishes, laundry, cooking, something at least. Sometimes he says he comes home for lunch and sweeps the floor and makes the bed and he says, I bet you didn't even notice I did these things. I feel like he wants to be praised for doing the minimum.
Pause. Nothing is the minimum.
Right.
That's a bullshit mindset that you have been taught.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe that you shouldn't congratulate or thank your partner for the things that they do, no matter how insignificant you feel it is, that's a problem.
It is a problem.
You have been brainwashed by the internet.
Right.
There's no such thing as bare minimum. You don't fucking deserve anything.
Right.
It is an ebb and flow. You give, they give. That's how that works.
Right. You know, even if somebody wants praise for doing something. So the other day, I made it a point, like I scheduled time to clean the trash cans that we put our recyclings into because we throw sodas and whatnot in there. Sometimes the cans don't get rinsed. It was gross. So I took like 45 minutes. I let bleach sit in there and I scrubbed them up really good. They look nice.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting you to say anything about it. It's expected.
Right.
We live in this house. We clean things when they are dirty. I was super proud of doing that though, because it was on my to-do list for a very long time. And because I get sidetracked, it kept getting pushed back.
Right.
And after a few days, I looked at you and I was like, hey, did you see those trash cans? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, they look good, don't they? And that was it.
Right.
I wasn't looking for you to say, oh my God, baby, you clean oh my God, you're so fantastic. I was proud of myself in that moment. I just wanted to be like, hey, I did that.
Right.
And that was it. I was not looking for, I'm proud of you for cleaning the trash cans. So if somebody does something and they're looking for like a validation or a pat on the back, if you are somebody who wants validation and a pat on the back, I'm going to phrase it that way. Do not go to your partner and say, hey, I did that thing, and expect them to be like, oh my God, congratulations. Right. You should be like, made the bed, go check it out. It looks pretty good. I'm just saying the bed looks really good right now. Like, I just want you to just go check it out. That's a more fun, playful... Right. And they're going to walk and be like, damn, babe, because you hyped it up.
Right.
They're going to walk and be like, damn, like you really did. You made that bed.
You made the shit out of that bed.
Right. If it's a more fun, like...
I bet I could bounce a quarter off that sheet.
Hey, and then to be really extra, you go get the quarter.
Yeah.
Like...
You don't get a gold star for being an adult.
No, you don't. You really don't.
But it's nice to hear your partner say things like, hey, I appreciate that you took that extra second to do something.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you I see that you took the towel off the counter and folded it. That's new. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take much to just have a moment of acknowledgement.
You know, even if your partner doesn't come to you and say, hey, I did this, if you notice that they did the thing, be like, I saw that you did that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like, you don't even have to be like, thank you for folding towels. You just go, I saw you did that. And be like, she saw it.
Yeah.
Men are simple creatures. If you acknowledge the things that they do and just show that you appreciate, they're going to be more inclined to do it again. Right. So when you hit them with, you just did the bare minimum, why do you want me to say thank you?
Well, in that scenario, I understand why she said that. I just don't agree with the comment. The statement itself does. You made the bed.
Yeah.
So fucking what, dude?
Right.
You threw that in my face that you made the bed. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, in this context, I would not have said anything at all.
But
because of the situation.
Right, because of the situation. I don't think it's the bare minimum, though.
No, it's not.
So the fact that he did make the bed is one less thing that you have to do. If you notice the bed was made, you should be like, hey, thanks for making the bed.
Right. Bare minimum is waking up and brushing your teeth.
Bare minimum is existing.
Yeah.
You have to breathe.
Yeah.
That is the bare minimum. Anything other than that is more than the bare minimum.
Right.
I fucking hate that term. That is the societal bullshit being taught to people so that you learn to not appreciate the things that your partner does to make conflict in your home because they want us divided.
Right.
That's all there is to that. If you use that term, you need to do some research.
Ooh, I just thought, I can't remember what video it was, but somebody commented and said, my husband's working 70 hours a week and he's still doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Working 70 hours a week is fucking hard.
Yeah.
This man could be out there breaking his back
Right.
and can refer to you sitting at home and cleaning and mopping as the bare minimum.
Yeah. And I guarantee you that bare minimum comment, he went, damn, well, I mean, if that's the case, I can do this by myself.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm doing the bare minimum and this is enough for me, why am I paying your bills?
Yeah. To clarify, we're not shitting on the writer.
No.
We're just shitting on the phrase.
The phrase.
In this situation, I would not have said shit about him making the bed and whatnot.
I wouldn't have either. I'd have been like, well, you want a fucking gold star for doing adult things?
Right.
Congratulations, you're an adult. Grow up.
All right.
Were you not hugged enough as a child? The fuck, man.
Right. Email goes on to say, I do laundry every day. I wash dishes every day, and he never thanks me for it.
Well, that's the problem.
Right. You guys should be acknowledging each other getting shit done throughout the day.
You guys want to, men, you want to know a cheat code to life? If your woman is doing the dishes or doing the laundry, walk up behind her and kiss her neck. Mm-hmm. Just stand there with her for a minute. Disrupt her whole shit.
Oh, yeah. And we have, so above our sink, we have a cabinet with a mirror in the back for dishes.
Right, so we can see each other.
And I can see you walk up behind me and doing all...
And then before you walk away, just be like, thank you.
Do it.
2 seconds. You get some intimacy out of it. She gets some intimacy out of it.
There's nobody loses in that situation.
No, not at all. And she feels appreciated.
Right. And if you want to call that being the bigger person, nobody loses in that situation.
I don't see that as being a bigger person.
People will say that, though. We've been at odds for 7 months. You're telling me I need to go up behind them and give them attention?
Yes. Fuck's sake. Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Be the bigger person. Yep.
You are with this person. If you have to call it being the bigger person to give them intimacy, you don't deserve that person.
Yeah.
Now who's dropping shit? You can't even call it timber because it's plastic.
I was going to use the pin to scratch my cheek, but it got caught in the thing and fell, but I still had to... I feel like he wants praise for the bare minimum, and he doesn't notice the big things I do every day. I know I don't feel the same way he does about chores because I don't look for validation for what I do around the house. Because,
yes, you do. Yes, you do, because you just did it in the email.
Right. Because I view myself as an adult, and adults do chores.
And yet you brought it up in an email.
Right.
There is a resentment there because he wants validation and you don't feel subconsciously that you're getting it, or you wouldn't have brought it up in the email.
Right. Everybody wants validation.
Right.
It's okay to want validation.
Yeah. And validation, when you validate your partner's emotions and feelings, shows them that you actually give a shit.
Right. It's not being needy. It's not
Right.
being clingy.
Want to hear something I heard the other day?
What?
You have an emotional need, right?
Yes.
And people say that for those who need a lot, it makes them needy, and that there is no such thing as the word needy. Mm-hmm. If you are looking at emotions like food and water, right, and you were to compare the two, and you were in the desert for 7 days with no food and water.
Yeah.
When you finally found somebody that had food and water, you would overindulge, oh my God, food and water, and you would take in as much as you could until you were satiated and you had enough food and water, and then you would slow down and then it would be normal. Whereas if you were not in the desert and you went to that same banquet, you would just eat normal conversation. You would drink as you drank. Mm-hmm. It'd be very easy. Now this person walks in and you see them doing that and you go, oh my God, he's starving.
Yeah.
So somebody that doesn't have the emotional satiation that they need, or they are not emotionally satiated,
They're going to be starving.
They're going to be starving. And that is the needy mindset.
Yeah.
If you're not getting what you need to feel full, emotionally or otherwise, you are going to appear as needy.
Yeah.
So you're not needy. If somebody needs that emotional validation,
It means they were lacking.
it means that you're not getting it enough.
Yeah.
And when you feel that way, you need to explore that.
Right.
Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I'm not getting enough attention? Where am I lacking the attention? And then you explore that, and then you have that conversation.
Yeah.
And then you won't be viewed as needy. And if you view somebody that you're with as needy, it's because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
Ta-da!
Yep. That's just a given in my mind, meaning doing chores. And I might be wrong for that and wishing he felt the same way. I personally don't want to live in a dirty environment, and he's perfectly okay when the laundry is piled up and dishes overflowing in the sink. We don't have a dishwasher. If he was living like that before you guys got together, that's how he's going to live when you're together.
Right.
If he did not clean up after himself in his own apartment, he is not going to clean up because he's living with you. You guys really, really have to pay attention to who people are when you are dating.
Right.
Just because you move in together does not mean all of a sudden they're going to be a clean freak and everything's going to get done properly because you're living together.
Right.
That's like having a baby to fix a relationship.
Yeah, you can't change somebody. If they live their entire life a certain way, it's going to take a long time to get them to fall into a new behavioral pattern.
Right. There have been times when he gets mad at me for doing chores, especially on the weekends. On Saturday, I wake up and immediately start doing chores. I told him that I do this because if I wake up and just lay in bed or sit on the couch, that is what I'll do for the entire day.
Procrastination leads to failure.
Oh, yeah. I am the same way. I wake up in the morning, I work out, and I immediately start cleaning. Because I know if I sit on my ass for 15 minutes on the couch, it's going to be 3 hours before I start doing things. I have to start my day with momentum or I will have zero drive to get things done. He yells at me for it because he doesn't want to do chores right when he wakes up. I've explained that's fine. He can play his video games or watch TV, but I want to clean and he can join me when he's ready. He says I make him feel like shit because I'm cleaning when he's doing nothing. That's a him problem.
Yeah, you can't make someone feel anything.
He feels like he is not adequate because he knows he should be cleaning instead of indulging in a video game.
Little dick energy.
It sounds like a 14-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah, you got yourself a boy.
Yeah, he's
Congratulations, it's a boy.
He definitely sounds emotionally stunted. And he's yelling at her about it. Girl, I'm glad you were leaving him. Your life is going to be so much better. You're going to be so much further in the next year without him tied to you. Mm-hmm. Your life is going to be so dope. Email us back in a year. Give us an update in 1 year. Let me know how your life is after leaving this dude.
Right.
I am rooting for this woman. But then he also gets mad when I start off not doing anything and I don't feel like I'm doing anything for the rest of the day. I feel like I can never do anything right and he doesn't appreciate what I do or how I do things. Another thing we fight about regularly is sex. He has a high sex drive and I really don't. So, I'm not even going to read that. The reason you don't want to have sex is because he's a piece of shit human being.
Yeah, lack of intimacy. Imagine that.
Yeah. So I agree with that. I would not be putting out anything for that person. So I'm skipping ahead. I know I missed a few things in this email, but I'm sure you can see what I'm going through. And long story short, I've accepted an apartment for myself, and I plan on moving out at the end of the month. When was this sent? Was this sent this morning?
Yeah, this came in this morning.
Oh, that was okay. This one came in this morning. Girl, good for you. Do not let him change your mind. Do not let him come to you crying, saying, "Don't leave me. I'll be better. I'm going to change." Move into that apartment and tell him, if you really want to show me you're going to change, do it on your own.
Yeah.
We can date. We can go on dates. You can come and spend the night, but we are not living together until you can show me the change that you're sitting here crying about.
Yeah, I wouldn't even date. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
All right. I want to be able to focus on myself and heal what's damaged. I want to make new friends and meet new people.
Good.
I'm so excited to be back to myself and discovering who I am again. And eventually, there's that possibility I could find someone who matches my energy and wants to work with me in a relationship. I'm happy. Mm-hmm.
Find someone who matches you.
Yeah.
Date. Court.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fucking settle.
Yeah, and don't jump into a relationship with the first person you go on a date with. Meet people.
Yeah.
You know, you can go on friend dates.
Mm-hmm.
You can meet somebody and say, I'm just looking for friendship right now. I want to get to know you as a person. And if you're not on board with that, if you want to jump immediately into a relationship, I'm not the person for you.
You don't even have to go that far. If somebody asks you out to dinner, be like, I'm more than willing to go to dinner with you as a friend. I'll pay my half, but don't expect anything other than dinner. Yep. I would just like to hang out.
Yeah. I'm happy for myself, but I'm also scared at the same time. I know there's going to be a fight when I leave, but I know that it'll be all worth it in the end.
Yeah. There will be conflict when you leave.
You know what I would do? They live together, so she can't secretly pack. If you can secretly start packing shit and moving things while he's at work and it's small things that he doesn't even recognize are gone, and then just one day come and get a bunch of people to help move all of the big shit, I won't even tell him I'm moving out. He can come home one day with my set of keys sitting on the counter and say I'm done.
Right.
He doesn't need to know where I am. He doesn't need to know where I'm living.
Well, yeah, I agree with the letter part of that, but I don't think that it's right to pack and leave while someone's there or not there.
Why?
I just think it's cowardly. I think it would be better to just be like, look, this isn't working and I'm leaving, and then have everyone show up and pack your shit and get the fuck out of there.
What if this is a situation where this is where he puts his hands on her? Because he's already screaming and yelling at her and degrading her.
If she thinks that that's the case, then she can call and get a restraining order and get her shit while that's all happening.
Okay.
But in the event that, to be fair, if she had 4 dudes coming to move her fucking stuff in a U-Haul, when the U-Haul gets there, she can look at him and be like, hey, I'm moving out. I've had enough of this, and now there's backup there. He's not going to beat her ass in front of 4 guys.
Yeah.
But she's telling him to his face that this isn't working. I'm leaving. I just think it's cowardly to pack your shit while people are at work. I personally don't like that. You can be accused of theft. There's just a whole lot of nonsense that can happen from that. I'm just not, I don't know.
Yeah.
I understand from a woman's standpoint and fear, but I wouldn't do that.
I would do that.
Right. Well, you're a woman.
Right.
You have that fear. I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't. You know what I mean? The worst that's going to happen is you're going to hit me with something. I've been hit with something
right.
But you don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about it the way that you have to worry about it.
Yeah. I look forward to hearing you share my story on your podcast, and I want to thank you guys for doing what you're doing and help me realize my self-worth again.
I love that.
Me too.
That fucking final sentence of the email really tied that up. Mm-hmm. That's what we preach on, because communication is super important, but none of that matters if you don't have your self-esteem and your self-worth and know who you are as a person. And if you don't know who you are as a person and you start dating, you're going to start bending who you think you need to be to meet someone else, to match someone else's expectations.
And then you become a shell of a person.
That's not acceptable. Mm-mm. It's just not.
It's really not.
I'm hungry.
That was a happy ending for
That
me.
it was, yeah, and not like a weird massage parlor happy ending.
Right. This. Shut up. I really, really had to process that.
Yeah.
In my mind. That was good. Like, did you just think of that?
Well,
Have you used that joke before?
No, not in this scenario.
Wow.
But the happy ending thing is a very normal massage parlor joke.
Right. It is. Yeah. I just. Very well planned.
It was not planned, just well executed.
Well executed. Yeah.
I had no idea you were going to say happy ending, so it definitely wasn't planned.
Right. That's good. Like, have you been waiting for that moment though?
No, I'm telling you, this is how my brain works.
That's crazy.
It's just the way it goes. You said something earlier, and it took everything I had not to chime in with a because that's what my brain does.
You go, and I think of like the little.
Yeah. No, it's from Hackers.
What is that thing called when you put that little photo thing and it has different pictures and you click it and it goes to the next photo and you hold it up to your eye?
Is not a viewfinder. I know what you're talking about, the red.
Yeah, and it's a new photo every time you click it.
That was very much a part of my childhood.
Me
from the
too.
80s.
Wild. That was one of the greatest things in my childhood.
That's an hour and 16 minutes before I cut things.
Yes.
I need to use the rest. I have to pee.
Okay.
And I would like to order food.
Okay.
And then we can record again.
All right.
All right. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
For those of you who enjoy our content and would like to support us and help grow the channel, the easiest way to do that is a super chat here on YouTube. For those of you who really, really like the content and would like to see more of it, check out our Patreon group. It gets exclusive content that will never be seen here on YouTube, early release stuff for those of you who are just as impatient as I am, as well as live streams with a live chat every Friday night. If you can't afford to do either one of those or you're just not into that, the next best thing that you can do is share this with people who you feel may vibe with it. No matter how you decide to support us, it's super dope, and we thank you.